I really like tower defense games. They are more casual in a way, so mastering them is more easily achieved, and the good ones expand the genre above the very basic premises and create the spiral of a maelstrom, dragging the player into the game more and more, just to get a little bit further. Of course, everybody knows Plants vs. Zombies or the classical Warcraft Frozen Throne ones. But there are some other little gems hidden in the depth of the internet that vary the topics of the gameplay. And today we take a look at 3 joyful tower defense games you maybe don't know. In Castle Storm, the scenario is therefore well known. It is medieval fantasy times, and you defend your castle by shooting wildly with big arrows, spears, cannonball-like stuff, poison and whatnot onto the enemy or his castle, either to capture the flag or to destroy his building completely. The latter feeling a little bit Angry Birds-like concerning the construction of the castle. The shooting that you do is a gameplay element, because you operate here your aim and shoot most of the times actively, and if you don't do it, it will not happen. You can as well plant your walking towers, that's troops, speed soldiers, bowmen, or bears or valkyries if you play the Viking tribes. Then they walk over the map and attack on their own. The game is very fast paced and you drop an enormous amount of ammo onto the enemy. But you can also enter the battle more directly by sending out a hero and battle the troops like in a hack and slay game for a certain amount of time. Of course, there are spells to protect your troops. You can upgrade your castle, spells, forces, or your arms, and there are even boss fights where golems or big warrior chiefs are to be defeated. Castle Storm was released 2013, and on Steam you can find the big bundle with all the DLCs that I recommend if you like it. It is a fun game, highly action-driven, and you need an enormous amount of clicks to win it. But it is easy to get into, and everything is done intuitively. A casual no-brainer in every aspect of the word, so to speak. Since I could not start from scratch, I can't compare the grinding time and feeling, which is of course there. When I played it again for the review, I felt dragged in immediately, and in no time I knew how to play it. So the integration of the gameplay is perfectly done.
Forward march! Here.
Last Hope is completely different in the setting. A very unexplored one, especially in tower defense games. You start playing Indians that are fighting a zombie invasion and slowly find out that you are in fact in a dystopian future, combining Western-like elements mixed with science fiction. The gameplay is more common tower defense, since you build your towers, plan them on the map on a certain number of given possibilities, and bombard the enemy with tons of ammo. How else could it be? You also take over up to 4 heroes as more active troops and combine them with the tower forces. Upgrading is a key element, and there are a lot of things you can upgrade. Not only towers, but also their slots. You start with 3 possible towers in a match, and you can upgrade them up to 6 slots to choose from. But then the game gets harder and harder, and you begin to realize that this, like in most other genre games, mostly demands playing lower levels several times to gain enough credits for upgrading the towers and heroes, because you could not go further on or were not able to get a full 3-star rating in finishing a level. Growing stronger, you will beat them and continue the game levels until you have to grind again. So, replay is making the game longer, as well as several arena modes where you can earn credits in a gladiator-like arena, or you have to withstand waves on other ground like a cemetery. But the repetition is well integrated as a gameplay mechanic. You always get credits for playing a mission, no matter if you fail or win the full 3 stars. So you feel that your growing power and no work is completely in vain. It only could be slightly little less in my eyes. Castle Storm has a better general look and performance, especially in the details and polishing. But the setting is interesting and the game itself is addictive. When I played it again, I had to spend some time to get into the game, but eventually felt the addiction and played it for several hours. Steampunk Tower 2 is set in a steampunk world, a style that I like in entertainment, and it has a unique graphic style, showing enemies as silhouettes. Your castle from other games has now turned into a tower-like weapon that has platforms where you can place one out of 4 kinds of turrets, as it's only 4. The gameplay includes a massive upgrade system where you have, for example, to order machine parts in factories that you have to conquer before to upgrade your turrets. Collecting other parts while fighting is also possible, and time after time you build up the guns or add new floors of your war tower. While fighting, mechanics are very different, and besides using the superpower of a gun every now and then, it is the placement of them on the tower that makes the real difference. The slots are not set. You can interchange every turret at any time with a weaponry lift. So you can change your strategy whenever you like and adjust it onto the enemy troops. And you also have to take care of the guns, for reloading is an issue. Because it takes long to reload, you can put the gun in the tower and load them faster here and whenever you want without waiting for them to be reloaded. Unbroken firepower is key, so this is more or less a thing that you permanently do whenever there is a little pause in the fire line. If the enemy is close and beating you, you can use the force of the tower as some kind of last defense and shoot energy beams onto the enemy, causing havoc and devastation and therefore winning the mission. The missions are integrated into a map and you play some kind of conquer mode where you have to free the country and defend it. Cause the enemy comes back and you have to throw him out again. The map idea works very good and gives the feeling of achieving something and that there is a huge war going on. There are even passive missions where you send your own spies to a city by paying them gold. Then you wait until they have won, because they will always win, and they get the second resource, that is gems, which you need, of course, for upgrading your turrets, your tower, or the houses and ground on the little city map that you operate in as well. This is a nice gameplay addition that fits into the conquer mode of the game. The gameplay relies hard on grinding, and it starts very early with it. I think it's too early and too much of grind, which makes this game the most repetitive of the 3. Unfortunately, you do not get any credits when you fail a mission, and this makes replaying as well more frustrating than, for example, in Last Hope. When I played it again, I was caught in the spiral of building everything up. The gameplay is more unique, but there is less to control here, and it repeats the basic fighting system too often, although some is well integrated, hidden as fighting back the enemy and therefore being seemingly something different than playing the same mission over and over. The setting and the harder grind without getting anything when you fail makes this the least appealing one to a general audience. All 3 tower defense games are interesting in their own way. All are addictive and all work so much different than playing them again did not feel like one game just copied and pasted, but 3 different games working their way on a given premise. I can recommend them all if you like the genre, but if I had to pick a choice for everyone, then it would be Castle Storm, because I think that it appeals more to the mass of potential players, and the fast pace is really action-driven and entertaining all the time. Perfect for a quick match in between. If you like the clip, please leave a comment or subscribe to the channel, it really helps a lot.